While we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. It's worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. When peace comes, remember it will be for us, the children of today, to make the world of tomorrow a better and happier place. It has always been easy to hate and destroy. To build and to cherish is much more difficult. I cannot lead you into battle. I do not give you laws or administer justice, but I can do something else. I can give you my heart and my devotion to these old islands and to all the peoples of our brotherhood of nations. You've all seen pictures of the Earth taken from space. Unlike all the other planets in the solar system, Earth shimmers green and blue in the sunlight and looks a very pleasant place to live. Often a child's helplessness and vulnerability bring out the best in us. Right around the world, people gather to compete under standard rules and, in most cases, in a spirit of friendly rivalry. Competitors know that, to succeed, they must respect their opponents. Very often, they like each other too. Religion and culture are much in the news these days, usually as sources of difference and conflict, rather than for bringing people together. But the irony is that every religion has something to say about tolerance and respecting others. Everyone is our neighbor, no matter what race, creed, or color. The birth of a baby brings great happiness, but then the business of growing up begins. I am reminded of a lady of about my age who was asked by an earnest, little granddaughter the other day, "Granny, can you remember the Stone Age?" Whilst that may be going a bit far, the older generation are able to give a sense of context as well as the wisdom of experience, which can be invaluable. People are touched by events which have their roots far across the world. When life seems hard, the courageous do not lie down and accept defeat. Instead, they are all the more determined to struggle for a better future. Over the years, those who have seemed to me to be the most happy, contented, and fulfilled have always been the people who have lived the most outgoing and unselfish lives. The importance of family has, of course, come home to Prince Philip and me personally this year with the marriages of two of our grandchildren, each in their own way a celebration of the God-given love that binds a family together. If we resolve to be considerate and to help our neighbors, to make friends with people of different races and religions, and, as our Lord said, to look to our own faults before we criticize others, we will be keeping faith with those who landed in Normandy and fought so doggedly for their belief in freedom, peace, and human decency. No age group has a monopoly of wisdom, and indeed I think the young can sometimes be wiser than us. But the older I get, the more conscious I become of the difficulties young people have to face as they learn to live in the modern world. I know of no single formula for success, but over the years I have observed that some attributes of leadership are universal, and are often about finding ways of encouraging people to combine their efforts, their talents, their insights, their enthusiasm, and their inspiration, to work together. Let us not take ourselves too seriously. None of us has a monopoly on wisdom. The wartime generation, my generation, is resilient. Inevitably, a long life can pass by many milestones, my own is no exception. Each day is a new beginning. I know that the only way to live my life is to try to do what is right, to take the long view, to give of my best in all that the day brings, and to put my trust in God. Whatever life throws at us, our individual responses will be all the stronger for working together and sharing the load. Such a blend of traditions serves to make us stronger, individually and collectively, by providing the ingredients needed for social, political, and economic resilience. Everyone is our neighbor, no matter what race, creed, or color. Religion and culture are much in the news these days, usually as sources of difference and conflict, rather than for bringing people together. But the irony is that every religion has something to say about tolerance and respecting others. The path, of course, is not always smooth, and may at times this year have felt quite bumpy, but small steps can make a world of difference. In times of doubt and anxiety, the attitudes people show in their daily lives, in their homes, and in their work, are of supreme importance. I know of no single formula for success, but over the years I have observed that some attributes of leadership are universal and are often about finding ways of encouraging people to combine their efforts, their talents, their insights, their enthusiasm, and their inspiration to work together. Like all the best families, we have our share of eccentricities, of impetuous and wayward youngsters, and of family disagreements. Cowards falter, but danger is often overcome by those who nobly dare. Football's a difficult business, and aren't they prima donnas? But it's a wonderful game. It has always been easy to hate and destroy. To build and to cherish is much more difficult. It has been women who have breathed gentleness and care into the hard progress of humankind. We all need to get the balance right between action and reflection. With so many distractions, it is easy to forget to pause and take stock. When life seems hard, the courageous do not lie down and accept defeat. Instead, they are all the more determined to struggle for a better future. None of us can slow the passage of time, and while we often focus on all that has changed in the intervening years, much remains unchanged, including the gospel of Christ and his teachings.